The only real hope and change you'll ever get is from God. It's going to come from the Lord, or it's not going to come at all. It's going to come when you admit that you can't do it and that you've got to have His help.
Mike, tonight, very concerned. Yeah, I know you probably already know that Sarah Beckstrom, 20-year-old young National Guard, she died. The other one's in critical condition. What a horrible thing to happen. Two blocks from the White House. Was the Afghani, was he just a lone wolf, or is he just part of a broader network?
He's part of a huge network, a huge problem, actually. You know, it is bad that this incident is the incident that causes people to bring awareness to it. We have real issues here in the USA concerning sleeper cells, and we have had those since 2010.
Did we have, okay, you know, during the debacle, this guy's from Afghanistan, and I know he even worked with the CIA even when he was over there, but ever since the debacle of the Joe Biden debacle with Afghanistan and the shutting that down, and the people and the floodgates wide open, the southern border, and all of this. I mean, we went through a four-year period there of I don't know how many people came into this country. Since 2010, you're saying we've had a sleeper cell issue, but has it exponentially grown during those 4 years of the Biden administration?
Well, when Biden, that move that was made, you know, where they took in all those refugees.
Right.
Actually, it's not just us. These are guys that are in the UK, Germany, and other places. At that time, it was not a big issue because many of the guys who had worked with the US for many years, right?
Yeah.
When you have an operative in the Middle East that works with the military for about 5-6 years, that should be a trusted individual. Right.
Yes.
And when they come over to the USA, you wouldn't really consider them being a sleeper cell, but they have to address the problem. Since 2010, we've had Russians, and in fact, in 2010, we had the big bust of the KGB sleeper agents here in the USA.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that's right. And that investigation happened over many years. And we only, during that time, that would constitute probably about 2% of what was inside the USA, still to this day, right, to this very day. So you had that build up. You had all these Syrian operatives after that were in the USA, right?
Yep.
And now these guys are living normal lives. You have, of course, the Biden years and the Obama years and some other years. But here's the problem. You get these folks who come over here to the USA. Are they genuine in their assimilation with the USA? Yes. The problem is faith. When America, right, or anybody else for that matter, when they start to target foreign nations, right?
Yep.
When you start messing with the homeland of an immigrant, any immigrant, and this is what, even the intelligence community, this is known, and it's Pastor, it's one of those problems that, you could kick everybody out of this nation that recently came here and still have the problem. Because once a person has their nation in their heart and their faith, right, in their heart, but that nation is attacked, a person will revert back to their faith and loyalty to that nation based in that faith. It'd be like if Christians were all of a sudden, if Israel became the target of a nation, specifically Jerusalem, right?
Yep.
Every Christian who believes in the words of Christ would be up in arms, even those who were not born there, right? So that would be a very difficult situation for others to face, especially a Christian in a Muslim nation. They would all be up in arms. This is what you face. When it becomes a faith problem, when the core of the issue attacks somebody's faith, you can wake everybody up. Everybody of that faith. who is loyal to their faith, who is loyal to their, roots, their ancestors, so on and so forth. They will not side with whatever they assimilated with. They will fall back on their faith. That's the issue we're facing. So that's a bad situation. I personally know it's underestimated. And we're going to pay. We were surprised. This was a surprise.
Yeah.
And that should get everybody's attention. No one was prepared for this.
No.
And no one will be prepared for the next one.
Is it so? This guy was a lone wolf, but he probably was. Is it strategically? Do you think they're going to use lone wolf attacks here, there, while the whole time the massive amounts of sleeper cells, and they sleep? What we're hearing is that sleeper cells are somewhere between 3 and 7 individuals to a cell. Is that accurate in your opinion?
Now that number you just gave would likely be a found number, a located number, which means communications have been captured, and those have been identified. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Not as far as their absolute location, but as far as rhetoric is concerned.
Right. Chatter.
But no, that I would say that would give us about maybe 20% of the ones that are here in this nation. Now, if we take, for example, what's been happening as far back as 2005. Some of the people from these sleeper cells have been in this nation over 20 years.
That's a long time.
So this is what you're facing. You don't know who's going to turn, right? And the government's going to face. They will begin to face a problem that they're not going to win by conventional means. You cannot discern if a person is going to change into one of these individuals who would assault this nation, right?
No,
because you have entire families who can listen and wait for a call to be activated, right? Say, for example, you have a sleeper cell in one house. In that neighborhood, everybody's going to know about that sleeper cell, right? So when that sleeper cell is activated, you're going to have standard Americans who have been here for a long time. If they agree with the message, they will act with the sleeper cell. Each pod would probably affect maybe 100, 200 people.
That's a lot.
So
of
imagine
people.
7 people influencing 1 to 200 people, right? You're looking at thousands.
Yeah, that's thousands
of these larger groups, and that's of the known ones.
Yeah.
And that number only constitutes those they have discerned or picked up by communications, by different means. So we have a problem.
And this digital, they're using the term
cyber terrorism.
They're called digital sleeper cells is the term that they're using out there. In other words, they're getting people radicalized.
To enact or evoke.
Yeah.
But again, this boils down. Look at what's happened in the USA. Trump comes into power. Trump starts cleaning the nation up. This was inevitable.
Yeah.
Before Trump came into power, many of us had discussions concerning the same thing.
Yeah.
So he comes into power. Other people are being put out of the nations. And to be truthful, this is why the Democrats avoided expediting certain getting people out of this nation all at the same time, so that they would not. They don't want to tip the scales, but somebody had to do it, right?
Yeah, it had to be done.
But when you do it, it becomes visible. Now we have 7 or 8 nations of people who have been ejected from this nation. We have made some enemies. The cartels have sworn vengeance against the U.S., against U.S. leaders, civilians, just anybody they can get their hands on. So you have these other groups, and if they are radicalized by way of their Islamic faith, everybody's a target, right? An infidel to them is an infidel, and so if it's a child, so be it. If it's not a child, so be it, right? And this is what we're facing.
And they're also joining forces. In other words, the drug cartels and the Islamists and maybe the communists.
To a degree, yes, to a degree.
They'll work together, right?
Oh yeah, they're going to fuel each other's efforts. But Pastor, the number, this should be a wake-up call. It should demonstrate to everybody that at all times, right? And also, this is God's mercy. because this incident could have happened 10,000 times by now.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
but it didn't. It didn't. I don't believe in coincidence.
No.
And I believe that everybody was able to see this. And if they're a believer, they should take notice, right? That's these problems will escalate. They're going to escalate.
Yeah.
Likely beyond I hate to say this, but beyond the control of most, right? It is at the root, it is a faith-based issue.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, it is.
At its core, that makes it a spiritual problem.
And that's a big one,
Right.
because when
right.
people, their faith, they will fight to the bitter end to the death.
right.
It
That's
comes
right.
to that. All right, I got something else for you to think about. This came out, Germany, there was a classified document that Germany had put together that somehow leaked. Maybe it was deliberately leaking, I don't know. But it's the blueprint of Germany building their own army and starting the process of how to protect themselves as part of NATO against Russia. What they're saying is that Russia is going to attack NATO countries by 2029, and that Germany believes that they've got to completely build a military force in conjunction with the United States and NATO troops to protect against the Russian battle. So it's Germany's secret plan. Do you know anything about the plan or?
Yeah, it's a legitimate proposal. It's a legitimate paper. It's kind of like Jade Helm, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. So there's always some sort of simulation based on real data, where you would have to engage your enemy, and they believe by 2030, the actual date was by 2030, that Russia, they would have to be prepared to handle Russia. Now, my estimation in this, they wrote that some time ago.
Yeah.
So I'd say that number now is probably around 2026.
Wow, that's next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
2026
This
right that deadline.
document was written 2.5 years ago, right after Russia invaded Ukraine, and it says the blueprint details that Russia, the 1,200-page document, we need 800,000 German, U.S., and NATO troops to be prepared to create, be able to ready to go to fight against Russia and a Russian invasion. Yeah. And Russia could move in on a lot of different directions. There's a lot of different nations that are along its border. I mean, I don't know who's the most weakest. Is it the Baltic nations, or where do you think is the?
Well, I think that right now everything is a little different because of their preparedness state. Right, they're not the same way they were 2 years ago. They're different now. They expect or are more prepared for some sort of incursion. So I would say Russia has likely altered its tactic. Here's what I mean by that.
Okay.
I'll give you a scenario. Suppose Russia has already entered into Europe.
Okay.
Which means they have awakened. I'll take you back to 2010. We had Russians here in the USA. Lots of them, right?
Okay.
You know that number's likely 50 times more in Europe.
Yeah.
So imagine most of their neighborhoods and a big chunk of their population being Russian. But being Russian by way of their devotion, but living in Europe as a European, which means at any specific time, about 25% of the populace of Europe is not going to be for Europe. So it will likely be an attack from the inside, right? Beginning there. They're already in position to do that. Just, this is something that all militaries are immediately going through right now. They have to sweep their soldiers. They don't know who's who.
That's true. That's true.
Look at us in the USA. How many times have we had somebody loyal to jihadists that was, the rank of a major, the rank of a colonel? These ranks, especially a colonel, you don't become a colonel without congressional eyeballs all over you, right? And so even a major is going to be scrutinized with prejudice deeply. So you have these people who are promoted, they're in position, they could have tampered with quite a bit, during their careers. These are people who had careers, right? We're not talking about 4 years in service or like 16, things like that. So they are embedded, and there are some problems in the world. And again, I believe that this happening that we just saw is an eye-opener. It is by no means the end, but it's going to be based upon how we handle issues going forward.
Yeah.
It will.
And to the point also that you said in Europe, it's one thing that there's no doubt there's a strong Russian influence already in every country in Europe. But then you got the migrants that came during the Arab Spring under Obama.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah.
And
they're full of Muslims. Yeah. They're full of Muslims.
And those two
Absolutely.
could work together because Russia uses the Chechen
right.
Muslims all the time fighting.
Right.
I mean, let me ask you, how many countries are really helping Russia fight against Ukraine? I mean, it's North Koreans already admitted they sent 25,000. There's
India was helping.
bunch coming out of other parts of the Middle East and Africa too, right?
Yeah. India, all of them are.
Yep.
Yeah. You have Asian, African, Middle Eastern. So you have all these people under one umbrella supporting Russia to do what they do. And they will not stop despite what the USA says. And that, that can keep you up at night when you see the true layout of what's happening. It is, we're soon to see, or they're soon to post some of these acts of betrayal publicly, or there are going to be some public hangings, so to speak.
You're talking about here in the United States?
Yep. Even right now, right now, we have moles.
Oh yeah.
In Washington that have been feeding Putin.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All this is going to come forward, and
so you think Trump's
not a good situation?
Trump's peace plan that he's trying to get done with Ukraine and Russia, is it just? I mean, these guys seem like they're miles apart, just miles apart. I'm talking Zelensky and Putin. Is there hope here that this can be resolved, or are we still miles apart?
If Zelensky is, he's a character, right?
Yes, he is. Yes,
he's also Russian, so he's quite stubborn in certain ways. In fact, him and Putin are, I hate to say this, they're similar in so many ways.
Yep.
When you have, Russia's not going to stop its endeavors. It will not. I'm sorry, they're not going to do it. Zelensky is not one to back down.
Nope.
Right? And this guy was an actor who
I know it.
Played
a comedian.
Every single role a person would ask for. They have their crucibles when they act. I looked at this guy's life profile.
Okay.
And he would do anything to achieve something.
So he's an absolute actor, and so
something.
he's acting as he's playing this role as president.
Well, because he would do anything while he was acting, and I mean anything, right? He's president. He will do anything to achieve something. And that makes him a dangerous person.
Yeah.
Right? He'll do anything to achieve something. So he may care about people, this, that, and the other, yes. But in the end, he'll do anything to achieve what he has set out to achieve.
And that could be false flags. That could be, massacring a civilian of his own civilian population and try to pin it on Russia. Yeah,
that's right. That could be anything. And when you're facing people like that in the world, it's in this world that we live in, it is upside down, Pastor Paul. It really is. When you start looking into the characters of these individuals of nations, there is no stability of thought when you begin to see the profiles of these people, because they truly are ruthless in a lot of ways. And but we're going to see that coming out. I believe that America is going to be, despite what people may think, we still have a collective people in America who are God-fearing, right? And who desire to see some sort of cohesion in this nation. And it's all this is coming out, but there's a lot of work to be done. There are people, like the Lord showed me, crawling right underneath the soil, ready and willing to act. That'll bring about a massive situation
Are you talking about people
and you can just see
underground civilization?
No.
Okay.
The Lord literally showed me people crawling under the grass and streets. Nobody could see them, but they were right underneath the feet of people everywhere, right?
Okay.
Which lets me know you have a big group of individuals within the USA who are ready to act. All they need is coordination.
The word. They just need the word. They're ready to go.
That's it. And when they do act, it's going to be a long durational operation to the point of death.
Let me ask you, you read the profiles of the world leaders. I'm sure you got access to them. Let me ask you about Erdogan of Turkey. I know the Pope Leo the 14th, that's his first time he's left the Vatican. The first country that he visited is Turkey. I found that to be interesting. Your thoughts about Erdogan? He doesn't like Israel, and he's willing, though, to put Turkish soldiers as part of this international stabilization force. Do you think Israel's going to be real comfortable with Turks with guns up against their fence?
No. Down with their current leadership.
And what do you think about Erdogan? What kind of is he?
I don't trust him because of his faith. I don't trust him because of his faith. I don't trust him. No, because I know he's going to fall back on his faith. Right? If the chips don't align, and they won't at some point, he will turn on Israel.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, I cannot help but to think that all armies are being brought down to the valley of decision, and they will turn on Israel. It may not look like it sometimes, but over the years, every single nation has had their placement in the Middle East. It is something that once you start looking into it, it is one of those incredible things. For all these years, all the policies, all the shiftings of presidents and prime ministers, all these nations have been brought down into the Middle East. It's incredible.
It's interesting when you said you don't trust him because of his faith. How did you feel that for 8 years when John Brenneman was the CIA director? How'd that make you feel?
No. Well, you know what? I'm sure that somebody is going to publish a book about some things with people in it, right? There will come a day of discovery when people find out what folks are really doing, because there are too many times when people turn a blind eye to their own leaders, right? They want the paycheck. So when their leaders are doing something that are immoral or against this nation because they want the paycheck, they'll just turn their head, act like they didn't see it.
Yep.
But we've had too many people. For example, I'll give you another example. There's one of the speakers of the House, right?
Yep.
Worships Cleo. This person acknowledged on television.
Worship
the
what?
Goddess Cleo.
Cleo worships the goddess Cleo.
Right. I'm not going to mention any names, but this person acknowledged the goddess Cleo, knew all about Cleo, told the interviewer that this goddess is writing down everything, and that this House speaker told this interviewer that she tells everyone that Cleo documents everything that happens in Washington.
What in the world?
Well, it shows you what they actually believe in. It was on public display, and I was searching the net, and I don't see anything about that.
No, it's the first time I've heard this.
And this happened about 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 days ago. First name starts with an N.
I think I know who you're talking about. And now I'm looking to see who the goddess Cleo is. Okay, this is a Greek goddess. Okay, Cleo is a modern Greek goddess. She is one of 9 muses, the daughter of Zeus, and of memory. She is the goddess of memory. Cleo is associated with history, creativity, memory, often depicted with a scroll, a book, and this. So this person is saying, and I understand that you're talking Nancy Pelosi, apparently. So what in the world is she the filter going away now, and they're starting to...
They're showing it. Listen, if there have been times you go into the tundra and you see about 25 people kneeling towards that direction,
to that God.
You go into other places and you see people kneeling, not towards Christ, not towards the cross, but towards other figures.
Yeah,
right?
Statues of gods. And
I'm telling you, if I were there, I'd throw all the statues out.
Yeah,
every single last one of them.
What about
George Washington does not wear a skirt, and he does not have a staff, the staff of Zeus.
No, he don't.
No, he does not. So what's been happening right before people's eyes is something has been propped up, and people not knowing, just not really knowing what is what. They have been made comfortable with abominations right here. I think I'd blow them all up with C4 or something. I think it would.
Yeah.
That really, of all the things on earth, that gets to me.
So George
right
Washington,
really
they have George Washington in there with a skirt, and they don't have him portrayed like the father of our nation. He's not.
Yeah, that's not George. That's
not George Washington.
Not it. That's not it. You know why that's not it? There's an identical statue, identical, in another location on the earth, just like the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
There's an identical statue of the Statue of Liberty, and it is not the Statue of Liberty. This is what some of these infiltrators of old did.
Yeah.
Right? This is what certain people warned about who were loyal to the USA.
Yep.
And what do they do with these statues? They cause people to worship them.
Yep. Yeah, they do. What about the United Nations? What do they got? What's painted on the walls there? I mean, what's some stuff in there? Is there some stuff in there?
Yeah, they got some bad stuff in there. Actually, they have stone, or I'll say objects they touch before every single session happens. They have these little secret rooms. The Maitreya has been in there a few times.
What?
Yeah, anybody explain that one?
What?
But it's been absolute defilement in that place. They have a sister to the Blackstone in that place.
Really?
And, so
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And don't be surprised if that place just cracks and totally goes under.
Wouldn't break my heart. Wouldn't break my heart if it did.
Well, there are fault lines, near that
New
place.
York.
Well,
yeah.
You got the Harlem River Fault and the Digman Street Fault, the Van Cortlandt Park Fault, and these are active faults. So, yeah, there's some faults there. They've been having 125th Street Fault, so don't be surprised if something happens in New York that swallows it. And then you have this Mondami, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that his belief system is contrary to the foundation of this nation. Period.
Oh, definitely. It's not even his belief system's not even pure to the Islamist. I mean, he's not. He's everything. How can he be everything? You can't be everything.
No. You know what it's going to boil down to a person? I've learned something in life. People can take on many titles. They can take on many responsibilities. I have always seen them fall back on their own faith. So whatever the faith of that person is, that's who that person is.
That's who they really are. Yeah.
And when a crisis comes, when the pressure comes, that's what they're going to be loyal to.
This is a dangerous time. Now New York City, Seattle. We're starting to see major cities in America fall under Islamic control.
Yes,
and that's not good. I mean, and they're saying they're socialist. They're using the term socialist, which is glorified, they're communist socialists, but they're really Islamists that are moving in. They're kind of hiding behind the bush as they take position. And as the Americans are, because we don't taught any history in school anymore, our young people don't know anything that's going on. The public is also, we're not getting told. The media has become so worthless. And I said this today. I'm not going to blame it all on the mainstream media anymore. I'm seeing podcasters that are worse than the mainstream media in pushing the narrative, anti-Christ narrative, anti-American narrative, anti-family narrative. It's being pushed everywhere.
Pastor, it's natural that like big media, right? These guys get paid big money.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so when their bosses say, we're behind this party. You say this and nothing else, and,
Yep.
and they're going to get that.
They do
paycheck,
whatever they're told.
right?
Yep.
So then you have a lot of podcasters.
Yep.
Who these guys? Some of these guys make
A
a
lot
lot
of
of
money.
money.
Some of these
so
guys are
the
making
more
a
money they
ton.
make, there you go. And so because they're going to continue to get that ton of money.
Yep.
And so they're going to fold to whatever the narrative is that they're
Yep.
given. But the guys that won't fold, we face opposition.
Yep. Yes, we do.
And it's just
And-
massive opposition.
I can tell you right now that there's been a shift in the shadow banning. I know I know I'm being affected by it. I know Bishop Larry Ragland and several other guys out there that are preachers and people are trying to share their faith.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden everything has been like dampened. And then the people can't find their channel. Nobody's being.
Constrained.
There's no
Yeah.
alert. Nobody gets notified. I'm gonna go live. Thank God we've been doing this every Thursday night because that's the reason people show up, because they know it's gonna be on. They're not because it's being notified, and that means new people don't even know. Unless somebody shares it and tells them about it, they don't know. We're being suppressed big time. This is part of the war, the info war, if you will, right?
Yeah, because by code, based upon your language,
Yeah.
right? They have programs that can pick out certain words. Of course, AI can understand everything you're saying.
Yes.
So if you happen to say specific things, right, then they'll just put a suppressant upon your activities. That's all.
Yep.
I get those a lot.
Yeah.
I get those.
I'm sure you get them every
those a lot.
day.
Yeah, I get them a lot.
And
It's a fight.
it isn't just only on a social media platform. They can also
That's
do
right.
that to your website too.
Yeah,
right?
they can reach out. They can reach out and harass you because you're utilizing an internet that belongs to them, essentially. So you have to go through them to get to everybody else, which actually is a slap in their face because we're telling an anti-message on their platform, right? So
Yeah.
but hey, that's the way it is.
Here's the thing. We know that in the end that we got to keep doing what we're doing because we're running out of time. There are millions and millions of people who aren't saved, that don't know anything about Jesus. They've got to hear the truth. And we're in a battle, and I'm in it all the way. I'm not, look, it don't matter. I'm in this thing. I'm going to fight it to the very end, and I do it because I love the Lord and I love people. And I don't want anybody to be lost. I don't want anybody to be lost. I don't care where they're coming from or what their ideology is or their religious background is. None of that matters. Their race, none of that matters to me. They all need the love of Christ in their heart. If they get this, they get the joy of the Lord. Man, your life changes. It just changes.
It does.
Well, Mike, also, let's talk about Venezuela for a minute. What's getting ready to happen here? I mean, this is... there's 50. I understand it, and maybe it didn't happen, but I got information that there for about 3 hours that the airspace over the Gulf of America was quieted down because B-2 bombers. What was going on, Mike?
It was a couple times. Well, they had training exercises, which are, you could say, intimidation in some cases. They even had beach runs, right? So they're training. And that means you're about to conduct some things. So Trump is serious.
Yeah,
he's very serious about what he's about to do. But if you think about it, we're in that time. We're in that time. It's not going to go away. It will not go away. I'll tell you what. I do know this for a fact. If we did not have a leader that would have stood up against some of these things, the USA probably would have folded. In less than a year. Yeah.
In what?
Less than a year. In a year.
In a year?
It was that bad. It was that bad. Oh yeah, it was that bad. I tell you what, when people talk, start listening to the real numbers, the origin numbers, right? From real people, and you'll find out that we were just going down the drain pretty quick. We were. There was so much. Forget about if we could have kept the corruption. We still would have went down, right?
Yeah.
We had other nations that were they were ready to attack the USA, right? We had vulnerabilities, and that era is still not over. We have nations we cannot trust. In truth, the USA stands alone with Israel.
Yes.
Right? Because even now, the rhetoric of these other nations, they're not quite in line with the USA. So, in that respect, we're on a countdown anyway.
Mike, also, they just announced that the 40,000th asteroid has been identified, near-Earth asteroids. 40,000 now, but 10,000 of them have been spotted in the last 3 years. And so they're saying that there's a massive increase in near-Earth objects that we're now encountering. Is this what you said in the past when there was a debris field coming? Can you help us understand this a little better?
That will continue to grow, right? Just like that, there's an object 93.2 miles in diameter. Yep, it's a big one. It's a big round ball.
Wait, 92 miles in diameter?
93 miles, 150 kilometers. And it's been spotted. They know its orbit, but its orbit has changed, right? It's coming in closer to us now. And so we're having things like that happen. This thing is huge.
Now, wait, it's not in our solar system right now, is it? Or is
no,
it?
But it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's right underneath us, and it's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
That's gigantic.
I believe it's what is that? C 2014 Wind 271. I believe it is.
What?
So it's commonly known, but its orbit is altering, changing. That's the one thing, right? You know, they have all these trajectories.
Yeah.
They forget that these trajectories change, right? We're having some real anomalies out there. So, we're coming into a very dangerous and active spot in the heavens, period. We're going to see some massive changes, right? I wouldn't be surprised if people begin to see for the first time a real double object with the sun. I wouldn't be surprised. They're not going to be able to tell what that is near the sun. They won't, but they'll see it with their own eyes and with cameras or whatever else. We just live in those days.
So now, we've been hearing about the binary system. We've talked about it in the past. And is this thing coming from behind the sun is why we don't see it now, or is it just too far away?
Well, a binary system would have other objects in it, just like our solar system, right?
Yep.
So those objects, some of those objects would interact with the objects in our solar system.
Yeah, it's got to.
And it's just not going to be what. Well, we read those things in the Bible. We know the end results, and we're not too far away from that, right? It's just like some of this geoactivity in the last few days. We've had a lot of geoactivity. Africa is igniting, essentially. The atmosphere has been electrified. Underneath it, magmas pouring out the ground. There has been a notable change in quite a few areas in Africa, but in the world. And that's coming from what's happening with the sun. As the chemistry of the sun continues to change because it's being affected by something external it, we will continue to change. And we're just in that time.
I mean, there's no question we got way more asteroids and interstellar objects and things coming at us. The sun is absolutely going bonkers out there because it's being, inundated with pressure, and then we have, as you say, when let's say this binary system, and call it Planet X, whatever we want to call it, but it's got a lot of other moons and planets orbiting it because it's its own solar system, and as it's going by, some of those moons or some of those things are going to come in view, but they're going to interact with Mars, Venus, Jupiter, whatever. So all of this is all part of God's plan. It's all timed. God's timing this, right? I mean, this is all part of what Jesus said was going to happen.
That's right. It's all under his control. And nothing is out of control, actually, right? It's all his declaration. All of it's his declaration. And it's not against believers. It is for believers.
Yes.
And I believe we're in a time right now. Where just like this shooting, right? This shooting looks bad, but every Christian should understand when a person leaves, in the Bible it says to be absent from the flesh is to be present with the Lord.
That's right.
Be absent from the body is to be present. So the person is gone here, it's not as tragic as you would think, right? Because if they're gone to be with the Lord,
they don't
there's
get no better.
no way. Listen, if I were to go be with the Lord, right, then I made it. I made it. That's I worked my whole life for that.
That's where you want to go.
That's what I exist for.
Yep.
So nobody should cry for me. I'm not going to cry for them.
Right.
You know, if a person goes to the best possible place they could ever go to, if all their dreams come true in one moment, why such, sorrow behind?
Yeah, that's why we were told to rejoice with the death of God's saints. I understand. We have a human nature. This is tragic. A 20-year-old girl being gunned down.
It will increase. Right. My point is, it will increase. I'll say this: it will increase. It's going to increase, and in order for people not to get too overwhelmed, because here's what I can see happening: when something like this takes place, people get angry. When they get angry, retaliation begins, and then it will happen. It'll be multiplied. Yeah. And everything starts to go really out of control. You have a bunch of upset people not really understanding what just took place. God's not out of control. If God wanted to, the devil would be gone in an instant, right? But he's allowing the devil to continue. He is. Okay, now, God's
absolutely.
We're being, and sometimes a lot of people forget that demons aren't existing on their own. God knows exactly what he's doing. And what he's doing is for us. He's doing that for us. He's bringing all this to a close for us. But the average person out there, they don't know that story. They don't know that narrative, right? So for the people who have said no to Christ, people can see what they're going to be handed over to. God will give them over to their own craftiness, their own inventions, their own little systems, and they're going to have to, endure what they have inflicted by way of their craftiness on everybody else. It is a true separation. It's kind of like being dominated, right? This guy being dominated.
Yep.
If people stay in that city and they like this guy, well, that means they share the same heart he has.
Yeah.
But a righteous person, a person who loves the Lord, who's not going to tolerate.
They're not going to like this guy.
They might get out of that city.
They might.
And in doing so, wouldn't the Lord be saving that person? Because he does call us out of this world, right? He calls us out of this world. And I've noticed something when he does that. When God's people leave an area, it's not soon after that area is destroyed.
Well, it happens
God's
a lot.
people are called out of first.
Yeah. Now, we know there's some people that are going to be living in New York that are elderly, and they're not going, they can't go anywhere. They ain't going to like being underneath this leadership, but, what are they going to do? But a lot of people are already looking for the exit. They are looking for a way to sell their home and to move on and get out of there. And some of them have jobs, and they're probably thinking, okay, I got to find something else to do. I got to work somewhere else. I got to get transferred. I got to find a job in a different city. I can't survive underneath this because the free stuff is impossible. You can't just do everything. Surely this guy realizes at some point everything he promised is not going to happen. There's no way it can happen.
I think he knows, right?
Yeah.
I also
surely
think
he knows.
He's very well spoken. There's no way in the world he's acting on his own, and that part
is scary. That's a scary part.
It's very concerning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right, now let me ask you this: there's Elon Musk. When the guy from Saudi Arabia, when Osama bin when Mohammed bin Salman was here meeting with President Trump. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was meeting with the CEO of NVIDIA and the Saudi Arabian Minister of Communications and Information of Technology. Right. And they were talking about they're going to build some of these data centers, underground data centers in Saudi Arabia as well as all over. But Musk said, "Look, guys, the future is we got to do this in space. We can't come up with enough water. We can't cool this thing. We can't generate enough power. We can build them and we can let them orbit the Earth, and it's deep freeze cold up there, and we can use solar panels to fuel it." Is this realistic, what he's saying?
Yeah, well, it's already being done to a degree. I mean, it's minus 455 degrees up there.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't need cold water to keep him cool, right?
It's going to cool anything off. So there's all, space station.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the satellites up there are robust. The only thing is, I mean, of course, Elon would do that. He has, his space program.
Right. He's got a lot of motivation.
Keeps him in business for.
It keeps him going. Right.
But it is. Think of the options, though. If we put power plants, right?
Yep.
You're gonna have to put a power plant in space. Now those solar cells, that's a lot of power to generate.
Yeah, they may not be. They may not be
generate.
able to generate enough power with solar panels.
Well, actually, in space, right?
They're a lot closer.
They have the solar panels that they're using right now. They have an upgraded version that will just blow your mind. The problem is, even if we have efficient solar panels or turbines, say one of these AI plants could get all of their energy from renewable energy, right? From a specialized windmill or something like that. It sounds like that'd be great. Wrong, because all of it's going to produce heat. So it's going to be like having a fire the size of a large Ford factory burning on a continuous basis in any certain place. They'll be able to produce the energy, but the emissions from that plant are going to change the atmosphere right above it. Right? That's what's wrong with cities today. Are the emissions from the cities that heat up the city.
Oh, so you're saying even if they're building underground data centers with their own small nuclear plant underground, the emissions from that energy has still got to come out of the ventilation. It's got to come out there somewhere, right?
So it's going to produce, you're going to have heat dissipation going all over the place, right?
Yep.
And we're not talking about heat dissipation can affect our atmosphere is already hot. That will increase rainfall another 50%.
I see.
We don't need that. We're barely going to make it through the next 2.5 years with the rainfall that we have, right? We have a frontal system being formed right now that's guaranteed to put the USA under snow and ice and rain.
Big time.
We're gonna have a flood event we never saw before in about the next 3 or 4 weeks. It's gonna just smash all records.
They're saying this weekend there's gonna be about 12 inches of snow. It's gonna fall on about 12 states. I mean, this is not even December.
Yeah, it's gonna happen again because we have another system forming right now as we speak. It's gonna
come right in behind.
It's gonna just shame that one, right? It'll shame that one. It's gonna be a rough.
What's causing all this shift in weather?
It's the heated atmosphere, right? The upper atmosphere. So here's the whole process. In the upper atmosphere, we have something called galactic cosmic rays. Those galactic cosmic rays carry particulates. They get caught in the ionosphere. That gets ionized, which increases the electric field potential of the Earth total. So we have a global increase in temperature and electronic potential or electric potential. That will cause the atmosphere to heat up because it's a lot more dense, right? It's already hot up there and cold up there in certain areas, but the ionosphere is specifically hot. It does not translate the heat well because there's not enough matter in the ionosphere, right, to actually make a difference. But what they're having to do now, because of particulate settlement, is move satellites to a different type orbit because it's starting to heat up in the ionosphere.
Wow.
Which, by the way, it gets up to 5,000 degrees. It gets very hot. But the reason, again, when it's not dense enough, right, molecules cannot, transmit that heat. So if it's without density, you can have it hot and you could go up there, I could go up there, but as soon as you introduce particulates, that heat's going to be transferred from particulate to particulate, right? It's also ionizing at a rapid rate right now as we speak. This has increased atmospheric conductivity. That means the ground absorbs the heat from the atmosphere, right? The radiation from the atmosphere. Normally it goes through the poles, but now it's coming straight down to the ground. 4 days ago, in the middle of the night, your audience should have burned up about 492. It was
What?
cold outside, and everybody should have woke up sweating, saying, why is it so hot? I'm burning up is hot, right? That was an absolute effect from the sun affecting the earth. And people felt something akin to microwaves. Yeah. So ask anybody.
I'm gonna say
in that time frame, did they wake up in the middle of the night feeling they're burning up hot?
Well, I did, and I had the air conditioning on.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But I woke up sweating.
There you
hot.
go. Most of your audience probably did the same thing.
So I got out of bed and I walked over and looked at the thermostat, and it still said 72 degrees. I'm thinking
this lasted 2 days. This lasted 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Now, those were minor effects. So here's what I'm telling you, because nobody else is saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that same effect increased at least 12 times.
So it's not the temperature in the room. No. It's the rays that's coming through.
We're being heated up from the inside out.
Yeah,
right.
and it was affecting, sort of
that's
like the core of the earth is being affected by this too, right?
There you go. So the next time this happens, right, because of what has changed, it's going to be the effects will be 12 times greater. Anyway, getting back to our thing, this increases telluric currents in the earth, right? So as current increases in the earth, it causes a real effect with magma, with crystals, with rock, with everything else. That type of agitation or increase in current is going to translate into magma becoming hotter, right? The core of the earth, that material is under much more pressure because you're building up mass, right? The introduction of that electrical potential being turned to motion or pressure, that's a physical effect.
Is that going to affect the volcanoes then? And
that's right. There you go. And that's why we had those eruptions.
Yeah.
I believe that's why we had those eruptions. And this will continue to happen. We even have the reverse effect taking place when there's too much energy inside the earth. We have the opposite effect taking place, which still affects the earth. Either way, what we're having on the earth is escalating by a factor that's they need to look at very closely. But I don't know how they're going to warn the people. I don't know that.
Well, the Bible does say that
this year coming up,
that we're going to have the grass burning and stuff. So you're saying this year coming up?
This year coming up is going to be horrific. I'm just saying we're in trouble this year. 2026, we're in trouble this year. We're going to have greater effects. More
of cosmic rays, and more
from
reaction
from the heavens. Yep.
From the heavens, and it's going to affect the core of the earth, which is going to affect the core of humanity.
Earthquakes, volcanism, your brain, right?
Yeah, Tonga we just had a 5.6 earthquake hit Tonga while we've been on the air.
California California's under major stress right now. Yeah, major stress. The South Carolina is under major stress right now. These are readings coming from deep within the earth. So there'll likely be effects there, and there's several other places. It is just, these things are increasing. And even right now, this was an example of what the sun can do and how many systems on the earth it can affect.
Yeah, it affects everything. It affects wind, it affects ocean currents, jet streams, the core of the earth, does it affect the spinning of the core of the earth, or is that a total different mechanism happening?
Well, the spin of the earth, right, that's based on inertia. It's based on the theoretical rotation of the inside of the earth and fluid dynamics with the magma. So yes, it does. And due to the weakening of the magnetic shielding, right, it will amplify the negative effects. This event we had with the sun was under a strong period of the magnetic field. The magnetic field is not always like that. In fact, even today it's decreasing in its potential, right? So it's not going to redirect radiation that well. We're going into a chaotic region of the magnetic field lines of force. They will start to change. And that means when people see auroras in Florida, I know they're beautiful, but that's dangerous. They're going to start to see these every evening.
That's crazy.
And that will be the beginning of the end of a stable era for all of us.
that we're going to see major changes in climate activity. Storms, do you think, will it affect tornadoes and hurricanes?
Oh my Lord, a tornado will be like a hurricane, and a hurricane will be something else. In fact, this year, they have 6 new names for weather phenomena they'll be coming out with in 2026.
New names for storms, a different kind of storms. Like,
Yep.
I
Yep.
remember
People
when
are going to learn. They're going to be
new terms.
6 new types of weather-related phenomena. They're going to have to use it, right? Because, say for example, hail.
Okay.
We have hail like a soccer ball, right?
No,
Because we'll have hail like that.
No.
They have gorilla hail, right? That crushed one of the new Ford trucks in about, 20 seconds? I mean, it crushed it, right?
Gorilla hail.
They had hail the size. One piece of hail was the size of, I think they said 2 softballs. 2 softballs.
That's big hail.
It was absolutely devastating. So they have classifications for these events, right? That's why the Weather Channel and the entire weather system across the USA underwent a change. You notice that your local weather personnel could have changed. Many of them were fired. AI is involved now. They need more accurate readings, and they're only allowed to discuss what comes from the top.
So
They're
in
not
other
allowed to
words,
throw
the
their own opinion in
meteorologist, the weatherman doesn't get to make his predictions no more. He's being told
No.
Yeah.
That's right. Because they fired a lot of people in one day. This happened in 2025. A lot of people had no job. They woke up with no job, tears, crying, everything else. But a lot of people were let go, and it was centralized, essentially. So here we go.
So centralized reporting on the weather because of the changes that's happening to the weather.
That's right.
Monsoon rains are going to get stronger. Hurricanes, hypercanes. We got these hypercanes. We got the polar vortexes coming in. Now they're going to change that term to something else. Atmospheric river. I know that's a new one for the last 3 or 4 years. So you're saying there's 6 new names, but the weather, the local weather guy, he or lady, they're no longer going to be allowed to make their own decision and call the shots.
That's right. They have to read from the National Weather Service. If they don't, they're not going to work as a meteorologist.
And is AI going to be giving us the weather report, basically?
It's doing it now. It's it's performing quite a few tasks, and they have to do this faster because can you imagine what people are going to think when the jet stream reverses?
Well, I don't know what to do. I mean, here in America, the weather comes from the west, right? Mm-hmm. If you're telling me all of a sudden it's going to all be always, and sometimes you get an east storm, but I mean, if it just completely shifts and comes from the east, it's going to mess everything up. It's going to change the entire farming community. I mean, it's going to mess everything.
And just so everybody knows this, right? That's what the Great Dust Bowl was about in the USA.
So this has happened before.
Yes, and it's about to happen again. So that means all the crops.
Yeah, it's going to mess up all the farming. Yep.
They're going to be gone. It'll be just like it was during the Dust Bowl. Actually, it'll be worse because we have dug up a little too much soil. But the government took steps. They started taking steps 10 years ago.
Different kind of food processing, whether or not where we get the food from. I don't know where we're going to get it. I don't even know if it's real. I don't know if it's real. One last thing, Mike, we had a terrible thing happen in Hong Kong. 8 of these 32-story apartment complexes burned up. 8 of them in Hong Kong.
Boy, they're having issues, huh? The bridge fell. And now you have that happening, all of this on that peninsula, in that area of the earth. Wow, that's unfortunate. It really is.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
It looks like it's not going to stop past fall. You have landmass movements and deformations in too many places throughout the earth. And it's just, we're in a season now. It's costly. It's going to be very costly.
Insurance is not going to be able to keep up with it.
No, they're not. They're not. In fact, they've already made their changes. If you're nosy enough to read the fine print with insurance, people will find they're not covered for what they were covered for last year, right? Yeah. So everybody is redoing the books. They're redoing the books. There's so many things altering and changing.
What about healthcare? And
yeah, it's going to change. It's going to be, there's a forced change coming with health.
Right, has to.
There's a forced change. Well, the reason why, they're going to have to dismantle some of these warehouses, these data warehouses and cash warehouses that cover expenses for these medical facilities, because right now it's ran more like a facade. How can a hospital, right? A hospital, you go into a hospital, the actual visit you could pay for out of pocket, but you cannot pay for the tests. Some of the tests in a hospital cost, more than a person's yearly salary.
Right, impossible.
And that's the foolish part. That's the foolish part of the USA right now. Well, that gets me going too, right? Because you go get a CAT scan, something you need. Yeah. I know how much that actually costs, but they will charge $15,000 for each one. You know how much that doctor gets? Oh my goodness. And for every prescription that they prescribe, they get a kickback from the pharmaceutical companies. And then you have all these doctors, did my own survey. Many of them have filed for bankruptcy.
What?
Many of them.
Many of them have filed.
The doctors have filed for bankruptcy, yet they make millions of dollars.
That's
right?
Crazy.
Not all, because you have good doctors, but
something's really wrong here.
It's really gone wrong, right? And the hospitals, who have been showing no progress as far as medical advancements and community turnarounds and approval of the community towards that hospital, how can all of a sudden they be transformed into a university hospital?
I don't know.
A hospital with low standards, but simply because it looks good, but treats their patients like, less than animals. They have malpractice suits piled up by every lawyer around them, and yet they get turned into a university hospital. That's an accreditation they should not have.
Doesn't make sense.
It's a money funnel, is what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a money funnel. And if President Trump looks into this and puts a halt to the money funnel, then people can afford their own insurance.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could afford to pay $10 to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that everybody could afford to pay $25 a month for their medical insurance.
Well, of course.
$25 a month. If people did that who are right now on medical insurance, the doctors would still be rich. The hospitals would never run out of money, right? But they would have to run honest tests.
Yeah, we didn't have to. This is a worse than drug cartel. I mean, pharmaceuticals are the biggest. We're getting robbed coming and going here. Really, we really are. The American public has been.
Greed is, greed. And it's not from every individual inside these corporations, but you have people who have set themselves up, is what has happened. For example, I'll go ahead and say it. If somebody would track the money from a specific test in America, in every hospital, it goes to one family and one family only.
Certain test.
Now imagine that. A certain test that's performed in every single hospital. As soon as that billing code hits the system, the money goes to one specific family. That family does not do anything but collect money.
Well, they have to be billionaires, multi-billionaires.
They are. But that's what's happening.
It's a crooked world.
I just gave me a hint. So they better just
people's digging right
knock
now.
that house down.
Yeah. Heidi, I'll probably have the answer by tomorrow. Okay. Mike, I appreciate it tonight. A lot of good stuff tonight to really chew on, to think about the reality of the world we're in, and just another reason that your faith has to be in Christ. It has to be in Christ. You can't put it in this world, because in this world, if your faith was in this world only, you'd be very miserable, is what Paul said. But we have to have faith beyond this world by trusting in Christ. So thank you so much for tonight, Thanksgiving, and taking time out, Mike. I really appreciate it. Everybody does. And happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Pastor Paul, you too. It's always an honor to be here. God bless you, brother.
God bless you, man. The honor's mine.
All right.
God bless.
COT's base of operations is right here at thecounciloftime.com. COT has no other outlet or venue. These are other folks who will rebroadcast. Anything COT does is by the main page here at thecounciloftime.com.
Notice also in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boastful, proud, blasphemous. It takes the grace of God to change us, folks. How can you be saved if you're not willing to repent? And the Lord Jesus Christ said, except you repent, ye shall all likewise perish.